Calicompanions, and welcome back to Bayonetta. This time, the Angel's Metropolis. With Scarborough Fair, we are now capable of performing the Wicked Weaves, which allow us to summon the fists and heels of Madame Butterfly.
Around, and some whale in Europe is trying to fence a huge rock on the black market. He calls it the right eye, saying it's part of some set called the Eyes of the World. Fits the bill of what you're after, don't it? Now, here's the funny bit. The stone passes around the halls of power for hundreds of years, vanishes, and then the black market goes white hot for the thing. But the seller wanted an arm and a leg for it, to the point no one could stomach the price. So back goes the stone. But not before everyone figures out where the guy is. You're gonna enjoy doing this one, I bet. I love sticking it to the rich. Of course, when you do, don't forget your old buddy Enzo stuck his neck out on this one. Slide me a few fuzzoles out of the rich guy's pocket for my troubles, right? Anyways, you better get going before the trail gets cold. Off to the middle of nowhere. Paradise of Europe. Vigrid.
Except for me, because they can't see me.
Please make sure you take all your valuable belongings with you. Repeat this message. Welcome to Vigrid, our final stop. Entry
Oh, in case you didn't see it before, we're playing Bayonetta.
You have arrived at last, my dear. The time has come to awaken the eyes of the world. Here now, my dear child, such a beautiful young lady you've become. I have always seen to it no harm comes to you.
Now, you may have noticed, while we were on the train, Bayonetta walked through someone. There's an explanation for that. As Bayonetta mentioned in the Gates of Hell...
So, this is supposed to be paradise?
Purgatorio exists between Inferno and Paradiso, slightly adjacent to the human world, also sometimes called the World of Chaos. And these people, wearing holy vestments, are in the human plane. We can't directly interact with them, they can't directly interact with us. A signboard showing tourists the remaining ruins around Vigrid, etc., etc. This is our first crafting ingredient, cured unicorn horn. We'll get onto that later. Right now, we don't particularly have any use for it. Some objects exist in both Purgatorio and the human world. If we interact with those objects, sometimes we can send the residents of the human realm all a scurry. The other ingredient, Mandragora root, and there's one more that we haven't seen yet, which is baked gecko. Now here we have your standard TSA metal detector. It shouldn't see me, so... You know... I guess it can detect demonic metal. Seems the security system's been tripped. As long as I remain in Purgatorio, I should evade detection from normal sensors. However, said security system has presented a problem. It's put the whole area on lockdown. Yet, as we walk by this, the sphere embedded in the wall all is emitting a wondrous light and resonant sound. Getting closer to it makes it grow brighter, as if some sort of ability to respond to a witch's power built in. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna try beating the crap out of it and see where it gets me. I would say it got me pretty far. It wants us to double jump this gap, and normally I would just drop down there, but what the hey. And as you can see, we're blocked by a keyhole. We need a key. Here we have an object bearing the seal of the sun, the resting place of an umbral witch. Let's violate that grave, and for our efforts, we're rewarded with a key. Here we're introduced to the concept of an equipped item. It changes the way you fight, and changes what attacks you do. Rather than my normal punches and kicks, I do a stabbing attack, or a penetrating attack, showing it's always a key, but when you stab it into somebody, it unlocks their death. Put the key in the key slot, and receive a platinum medal for our efforts. Here we receive the first of Antonio's notes. Unfortunately, they're rather long-winded, so I probably won't be reading them during these videos, as there's a lot of them in one level, and they take a lot of time to read. Here we have a statue of a Lumen Sage, and a broken one. I wonder how that could have happened. Probably these guys. We receive a pure platinum medal, and use our infernal kiss to break the heavenly barrier that prevents us from progressing in either direction. And for our efforts, which I'm going to be saying a lot, we receive the statue of the Umbra Witch. As it says, lightning will be released, and it'll test us. Lift, dodge, and walk across the water during witch time. To pick up a green laurel, which restores HP. Another one of these breakable walls. Except this one turns into an elevator. But I'm not going to go up that just yet. It turns out, this game really rewards backtracking. Oftentimes, if you don't go back the way you came, you end up missing things that might come in handy later. In this case, a portal to Alfheim. Alfheim levels are specific challenges that warrant, well, each one has a different completion goal. And once you meet it, you're rewarded with a special item that helps improve Bayonetta, either increasing her magical power or her health. And this, defeat witch time before time expires, can only be done during witch time. You see, we try to attack the enemies outside of which time we receive that barricade. Barricade prevents us from attacking. A new mechanic just introduced itself, the Raging Enemy. If you taunt an enemy, or deliver enough damage and allow it to survive, that enemy has a chance of going into a rage. Raging enemies attack faster and with less wind-up time. This also presented me the opportunity to explain that Alfheim missions are entirely optional and failure will not impact your score in the level. However, success will. The medal you earn for success will figure into your end-of-level average. If you do not do the level, then only the main verses will be figured into that average. Bayonetta's levels are chapters, and the subsections of which are verses. And I am struggling with dodge timing. This is absolutely one of the worst Alfheim levels to try and do recording. Because of the recording latency I mentioned in the previous video. Will you please hurry up and attack me? I don't have all day. Come on. Come on. I thought that killed him. I am so freaking silly. And now he's raging. Here we have a slightly larger angel, which makes this more challenging. And yet again, failure. I'm trying to activate an ability I do not have yet. Well, hopefully I get used to this dodge latency because it's really becoming a pain. If not, you will just see a string of failures starting again, failures starting again, like happened in my first attempt to record the series. I can't do anything because he won't stand up, and he needs to fight me. Rage. Well, that just made my job harder. Well, string of failures it is. I hate being me sometimes. Damn it. There we go. Whoops, wrong button. I've been playing Bayonetta 2 a lot recently, and it's kind of impacted my... There's the third ingredient, baked gecko. We just picked up an angelic weapon, and we're now capable of using it against our angelic opponents. Come on, one more. Whoops. Great, now we have 2 large angels to contend with. As you can see, if you max out your torture attack, you receive bonus halos. Wow, that time the dodge button did absolutely nothing. Well, we beat that. I guess I won't do the endless string of failures after all. Just show my humiliation for everyone to see, but at least we got a silver medal and not a bronze or stone. This piece of loot is a broken moon pearl. Put 2 of those together, and that gauge of shining magical pearls increases, allowing you to perform additional torture attacks, etc., etc. And in Bayonetta 2, it allows you to perform a different series of attacks, but someday we might get to that. For right now, let's continue with the level. Thankfully, the dodge time for that is easy enough, and I can just continue on with my day. If only were that easy to dodge angel attacks. Here we are, an upstairs Vigrid, walking amongst the residents, breaking benches and sitting them in a hilarious scurry to try and get away from us. And here we're introduced to the gates of hell, where we can go and shop.
This town's teeming with heaven's little helpers. It's making my buddies downstairs awfully nervous.
And your point is?
Some places in this world are closer to Paradiso or Inferno. The rat hole of a town you and I live in is close to both. But the Vigridians, they got a special air about them. They're closer to Paradiso than anyone should ever be. And that shit just plain creeps me out. I guess I'm gonna have to set up shop here and score me some halos. These stupid rings are worth a fortune back home. Since it seems you're spoiling for a fight, if you come across any of these, bring them to me, and I'll hook you up.
Another one looking to line his pockets. I'm beginning to see why Enzo is so fond of you.
Real cute. But let's get one thing straight.
Please don't
Your
associate
fights
anyone
are
with
yours
Enzo.
alone. I'm only here to
It's
watch
just
my
rude.
handiwork in action. So don't get any bright ideas about coming to me for help.
No, you get one thing straight. I'm not the slightest bit interested in the fact that you made
And here
these
comes
guns.
my favorite line in the entire
If you
game.
get in my way, I will... How do the Americans put it? Oh yes, bust a cap in yo ass.
I love her
Right on,
American
baby.
accent.
Right on.
That was hilarious. Well, since he so politely invited us, we might as well go collect a purple butterfly. contains a powerful gem, blah blah blah. That basically, if we run out of those shiny little pearls, will allow us to gain more. Here we are in the gates of hell, where we get to hear one of Rodan's quips.
You here for business or pleasure? Either way, I'll hook you up.
Now let's see what he has for offer. Nothing in weapons. Here he has some accessories that we cannot afford. Accessories alter the gameplay. They either allow you to conjure something useful, or change it so that the angels are always raging, or various other effects. Here we have items we can use during levels. Let me go back to the items tag really quick, because I forgot to mention something. You can buy a certain number of moon pearls and witch hearts. After so long, they go up in price, and then they become... well, they become sold out because you bought all of them. Here we have techniques. Each of them is really useful. Such as air dodge, which I will buy right away because I need as much help as I can get dodging while streaming. And under Rodan's treasures, we have absolutely nothing for the moment. Other than the air dodge, I don't really need anything right now, so let's let Bayonetta saunter her way back to the into the human world. Or Purgatorio, whichever. Smash these faces because I feel like it. And up here, we have our first hidden item, a broken witch heart. As it says, collecting 4 of those will increase our health gauge. Increasing the health gauge is vital to completing some boss fights later down the road. The Crystal Witch and Sage basically explains the histories of the statue. And again, I'm not going to attempt to read it during the recording, because if I did, it would take forever. Now there's a glowing red crow over here, which, if we collect all of them, we get different achievements, and the different achievements can unlock different things. You know, as I've said before, always explore these little side areas and things like that, because you might just find one of these containing a second piece of a broken witch heart. We're now halfway to expanded health. And an arcade bullet. Each one of these you collect gives you 3 bullets for angel attack. The more bullets you have, the bigger prizes and rings. Halos. But anyway, I digress.
What?
Oh no, flowers. Must be poison ivy. Nah, just kidding. It's the second members of the hierarchy of Laguna. The Affinity's bigger brother, the Applaud. Applauds hit harder, have more health to them, and we've already seen a few of these. There are 2 primary variants, the staff and the bow. The variants we've seen before have been the bow variant. This was the staff variant. It basically just does that same attack that the normal angels have been doing, or the affinities have been doing. Ow. That was incredibly rude. As you can see, if you pick up the staff, you have 2 abilities unlocked. This the staff gives you access to what some call the pole dancing attack. Bayonetta uses the staff like a pole dancer's pole, and deals damage to a group of angels. Oh, that's another thing about the Applauds. They can shield themselves against bullets and release a strong attack. After beating all of that nonsense, we get introduced to yet another member of the hierarchy of Laguna, the Beloved. This absolute beast of an angel has one job. To quote Lost Vikings, turning big fat witches into little flat witches. Now what I want is right over here. The tuba that I picked up a little bit ago more or less has one attack, just in 2 different strings. Its punch attack is very weak and uses half the energy. More importantly, I need to introduce you to the infernal demon Gamora. Gamora is summoned during a climax against enemies that you can't torture attack. Well, not all the enemies that you can't torture attack, but at least this one. And a few more that I will show you. Let's pick this up, because why not? And we're introduced to the Golden LP, Trois Marchés Militaires. An LP featuring the crystallized voices of angels. Some sort of silhouette is drawn on the weapon. Is drawn on the disc. Record. I do not know why I suddenly cannot speak the English language. But, even though it's not mentioned in the instructions, we should take that back to the gates of hell. Gives me a chance to demonstrate the Beloved's weapon.
An angelic hymn's gold LP. Got your hands on something awfully rare, haven't you? That thing is the perfect bait to coax out some of hell's ugliest. One note hits their ears, and a damn who's who of Inferno comes pouring out of the inner circles. Then I can use them to breathe life into what I make best. Weapons of mass destruction. Tell you what, you give me that record, and I'll order up something so fiendish, angels will cry at the sight of it. I'll just have to pop down to the tropics for a bit. So take a load off.
So, as Rodan said, we trade golden LPs for better weapons.
All done. He's a little rude, but he makes up for it with charm. Be nice to him, okay?
And we receive the Onyx Roses. Now, under the Weapons tab, there's a weapon available. A weapon we can't afford. If you buy a Weapons Alt version, it allows you to use it on both your hands and your feet. Such as the way Bayonetta has Scarborough Fair equipped right now. This also unlocks something very special. it unlocks the equipment menu. Shotguns containing the souls of the fairies known to collect the onyx roses that bloom only in Inferno. Each shell fired contains the curse of the fairies' trapped souls. But collecting onyx roses activates this wheel of equipment. We can now have 2 sets of equipment. I have Scarborough Fair equipped to both slots in one set of equipment, and Onyx Roses equipped in the other. If I could remember the control for the original Bayonetta, there we go. And again, paste backtrack. Here we have another optional verse. We fight a group of affinities and their bigger brothers, the Applauds. And we get to test out the new weapon we just unlocked. It does significantly more damage than Scarborough Fair, while also having a higher stun chance. I hope I was recording that whole time. If not, Onyx Rose's basic video game shotgun. Increased power and stagger. Better defense. Increased power and stagger. Better offensive capabilities than Scarborough Fair. Keeps enemies fairly off balance. Overall, not much difference, but a little stronger. And for the first unlockable weapon, it's not bad. Now that we've progressed back, we should turn around and go the other direction. Having completed the optional verses, we are now free to move forward. What is this? Oh, it's a fire hydrant. One of my favorite things you can do in this whole game. Kick down the door. Fly up here. Real quick. Collect this broken witch heart.
Too late.
So I was incorrect about how much the tuba uses for the lighter attack. It uses about a third. All of a sudden, we're in Bayonetta's past with her past weapons.
What are you doing? Let's go.
And there's Jean. And there is one particularly ugly angel. Now, this fight has two ways you can go about it. You can either stay right here, or you can go over onto the bridge. If you go over onto the bridge, it makes biting attacks at you. And you just stay here, it'll only shoot fireballs. And the fireballs are frankly easier to dodge, especially with the latency issue, so let's do that. Either way, you can come out of it with a good range if you just stay here. If you perform a Wicked Weave, despite the fact that the angel is all the way over there, the Wicked Weave will actually hit it. After you do enough damage, it flies away. Mostly because it's not time to fight that particular angel yet. Despite the fact that we've fought many angels that haven't been introduced yet. But we'll let that one go for now, and get away with a pure platinum. Antonio's notes on Witch's Brews unlocks this section, the item concoction. Through this, you can fill these bars up, rotate the right thumbstick, and craft items for yourself. That way you're not having to buy them from Rodan or find them in a barrel or vase or something. We don't need to go to the Caves of Hell right now, so let's just carry on. Here comes the backhand. I knew it was coming, and I was still not able to dodge it. Another fight, another beloved. Still big, still ugly. And here, we have a quick time event. And we're done with that. Just kidding. I sure wish the dodge button was working for me. Here we get to do another one of those climax moves. We yet again summon our faithful Gamora. As an interesting note, the crown Gamora is wearing is its actual head. Those dots on either side of it are just disguising it. And Gamora returns to Inferno from which it came. And with that, we have completed our first real chapter of Bayonetta. We didn't use any items.
I should have been a pole dancer.
And we received a platinum statue. Again, I'm not really too concerned about rank because I did actually manage to do an all-platinum boss run, with the exception of the final boss, in my last playthrough. After I completed that, I felt no hesitation in unlocking Jean through the cheat phone. But anyway, with that, we get to see the cute little kitty feet lead to the next chapter. And the end of the video. Next time, Calicompletes Bayonetta, Vigrid, the City of Deja Vu. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you then.